done? Okay, my turn.
Oh, good grief. I don't think this tree is worth it. But let's play with the monsters. Okay, I changed my mind. I definitely want to kill them. Got him! Yes, 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 I got him. Well, good morning. We're back in Middle Earth, and as you can see, we're joined by Miss Fistula, which means only one thing. There must be a festival running. And there is. We are going to the Midsummer Festival. So, where is our map? Right here. Let's head off to the festival. And Miss Fistula is very eager to see this festival because she has never been so far before. Now, Merry and Pippin have been to Minas Tirith, but she hasn't, and she's like very excited to go. And isn't it gorgeous? Now, of course, this is after the Battle of the Ring, and Sauron has been defeated. Minas Tirith has been restored to its glory. Now let's go talk to some fine folk here in Minas Tirith.
What a wondrous midsummer.
Welcome, friend. Have you come to join in our celebration of midsummer? I should hope so. Although Minas Tirith endured many dark days, the new revelry has heartened the people of Gondar and the lands beyond, and not a moment too soon. I think, between countless weddings, feasts, parties, and other activities, it is not difficult to find yourself in the spirit of midsummer. For those who exemplify that spirit, and for those who find their way out of our taverns, I may just have some special gifts to hand out as a token of our appreciation.
May your heart be light and your joys be many.
Whether you join the revelry here in Minas Tirith or in far-off lands, it is certain that you will find yourself among merry company. We ask only that you celebrate in the spirit of midsummer. So, that is our daily quest.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Midsummer has come at last. If you want to join in the festivities, you should present yourself to King Elessar. The king desires to welcome all travelers to Minas Tirith. It is quite the city, and there's no good in trying to celebrate if you do not know the way. May you have a merry midsummer. Alright, so I don't think we can we use the...
Gondar needs your aid.
Well, we can go up to the high stables, but everything in between we don't have yet. Okay. So, let's travel to the high stables. Alright. Get on our horse. And we're going to get on a fine horse because this is Minas Tirith. And we should be riding our finest horse here. And actually, we should be dressed in our finest too. So what are we wearing for this outing? Well, that's quite fine. Oh, that's our picnic outfit. Oh, we could wear that. I think that's, Arwen's dinner dress. Hopefully she doesn't mind us borrowing it. Okay. And away we go. Oh my. I didn't realize Midsummer was coming this soon. I wonder if there'll be any new rewards. Let's find out. We just passed the reward vendor.
Greetings.
Gondar needs your aid.
Cloak of Entwining Blossoms. Of course, I never was a fan of cloaks. It's nice. It's not the best, though. What's the tunic look like? Oh, actually the tunic's quite nice. And what do the matching boots look like? Oh, okay. What's the circlet look like then? Oh, okay. Not bad. I'll have to get it. The mantle? Oh. Oh, there's a dress. Oh. Oh, she has some things to get then. Oh, definitely. Oh, yes, definitely have to get this dress. Okay, so we're going to need 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 tokens at the very least. And of course, we already have some of this stuff, like the bridal veil. And the circlet of Lorien, which she's not wearing with the dress, but it's very pretty. We already own that, though. There's a silver chipmunk. 70, 90. Then we have our fireflies. Oh boy, we're going to need lots of tokens for this celebration. Oh yes. Yes indeed. Oh, we are going to need tons. Ooh, the silver pedestal. Okay, the Midsummer stable is silver pedestal. I think might already be something that we've had before. I'll have to check. If not, we'll get it. I know, I recognize most of the planters and the things like that. The turn of Ranger secret soup. Roast bird leg, roast chickens. Pedestal plate of limbas. Tear and share pastry. So a lot of these are from previous years. Some of these are very nice housing decorations and makes me wish we had smaller hooks. Especially like if you have a table, the table should actually include a few hooks on it so that you could put things like these little platters down. Ooh, that would be nice. I'd like that. Or get rid of hooks altogether. And just let us place items in the house freeform, like games like New World do. Which is like one of the few things New World did get right. So we definitely have a really nice cosmetic set to get. And we got a couple horses and a couple of pets. And we are going to be doing lots and lots of festivaling. Because we definitely want these things. Alright, let's go say hi to the king. And luckily for us, we are properly attired to see him. It bears to reason if you're standing before a king, you should curtsy. Hail and welcome to Minas Tirith. Midsummer has been a long tradition for my people, and I am pleased to welcome you to join in our celebrations. I have much to do, but Marilyn will see that you find yourself among spirited company. May you have a joyous midsummer.
I am pleased you could return to my city with war safely behind us.
Fistula, my friend, I am pleased you could return to my city in time of peace. With war safely behind us, we cannot lower our guard over much, it is true. But Mithrandir and the Council of Gondar both assure me that the threat of further war is at a low ebb for now. My mind therefore turns from martial matters to those of the heart, for a day long prepared is nearly upon us. As you well know, Arwen, my betrothed, travels even now to Minas Tirith, where we shall be wedded before all of Gondar, and she will be the queen of my kingdom. Long have we waited for this day. It is very important to me and to my love that the ceremony be conducted properly, but my knowledge of such matters is not sufficient. Mithrandir insists that he has an understanding of the rituals, but some members of the council question the depth of his knowledge concerning the customs of Gondar. The council therefore selected a number of Gondorian representatives to decorate the city and make ready the ceremony. The woman responsible for the wedding ceremony is named Rodwin, and I would ask you to lend her your able assistance if you have the time and the inclination. Arwen will be here soon with her household, and I want all the preparations to be made before she arrives. And this is Rodwin.
Yes, hello. You are to help with the preparations?
Yes, hello, Fistula, is it? I see. You're to help me make ready the wedding ceremony? I assure you we have things well in hand. Rodwin appears visibly nervous and seems to be having some trouble meeting your gaze. Let us meet somewhere to discuss the preparations, Fistula. There is no point in disturbing the king with such details. Surely you agree. Let us find a quiet spot to discuss them. If you leave the Tower of Ecthelion and turn north, you will see a doorway spanned by a garland of flowers. Slip past that garland and climb the steps to the well, and that is where I will meet you. Okay. Isn't this beautiful? Look at the floor. It's just polished to a glass shine. Ooh, look at that. How lovely. Ooh, hold on. Okay. Now, enough being a tourist for the moment. Let's head out. We have people to find and talk to. Oops, sorry, random person. I didn't mean to run right through you. And of course, it's the first day of festival, so everybody is here. I think this has got to be one of the most popular festivals next to probably Yule. Oh, and here's one of the people we need to talk to right here. It's Marilyn.
How can I be of service?
Welcome to our fine city, Fistula. Whether you are here to celebrate the one day, or you intend to stay until Midsummer's Day, I hope you find our celebrations to your liking. If you should have any questions, or if you'd like to join our efforts to support Midsummer, you need only ask. And you can see she has now popped up several quests, and actually there should be several quests all over the place. So, we're not doing lightning in a bottle because that actually takes us outside of Minas Tirith to different locations. We might do it towards the end of the festival. Which, of course, that means we'll be joined by Miss Fistula for the next, 3-ish weeks. I'm sure y'all don't mind. I'm sure a couple of you have quite missed Miss Fistula. And while watching Medriel delve into the deeps of the mines of Moria is quite exciting, there is something to be said about our dear little hobbit.
Stay a moment.
If you're planning to visit the House of Lore this day, I would appreciate some assistance. Here, take these arrangements and find good locations to liven the place up a bit, especially that room with all the dead things. Why on Middle-earth anyone would want to be married in the same room as a troll is beyond my understanding. Alright. Vintners from across the land have sent in shipments of wine to Meldis for the feast I'm planning. We cannot serve anything but the finest, and each event has their own preferences based on the menu. Meldy Inn, the wheel and cloak, was destroyed in the war, but she's moved up to the Splintered Shield. It's a much rougher place than her last establishment, but you look like you can handle yourself. Meldis has the various casks of wine stored in the kitchen. Go sample each vintage until you find the one I require, then bring a barrel of it back here. So we get to drink some wine, we get to arrange some flowers.
Might I take a moment of your time?
A perfect wedding can be the most memorable moment of a relationship. I ensure that for all my events, that memory is a delightful and fond one. Only the best will do, which is why I have shipments of the finest supplies coming in from across the land. Rare foods, exquisite silks, exotic flowers. My couples ask, and I deliver. Well, someone else was supposed to deliver my shipments, but they seem to be otherwise occupied. If you happen to find your way down to the third circle, and if you happen to gather my tardy supply crates while there, I would appreciate it. You shall know which boxes are mine by their quality, of course. And
would you do something for me?
Wedding guests are a thirsty lot, and we shall serve nothing less than the city's finest ales at our events. I have put in orders with the best taverns in the city for barrels of their choicest ales. Go and fetch them if you would. It would save me a great deal of time. So, tons of quests just from her, but we're not done. We can go over here and talk to this gentleman.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
Well, hello there, friend. You look like an important person. I wonder if you might be up for a small errand. I have samples of some treats I'm experimenting with. Would you be so kind as to deliver them around the city to some of our, shall we say, loftier citizens? I should guess that you would have an easier time of it than I, being all important as you are. There's no charge to them, of course. Do feel free to let them know whose creations these are, however, so they might put in some orders for their festivities. Mayhap only tell those that, enjoy the samples, yes? So many events, so many flowers, so few moments. These arrangements need to be placed at various event sites around the city. If you could find places for them where our events will be, it would save me so much time.
May I help you with something?
Welcome, friend. I heard you shall be assisting us during the festivities. Glad I am to hear this. I sent my daughter down to the first circle to gather flowers, which I plan to weave into floral crowns. She is a good lass, but does tend to get distracted. If you find yourself down there, would you be so kind as to look for her? Okay, so we have like tons of quests already. And it is no problem whatsoever to get our 10 quests for the day just here in Minas Tirith. Now, before we go any further, because I think we might have picked up everything up here so far, we do need to go find a lady to talk to her about a wedding. So, we need to go this way. We need to go past here and up these stairs. So it's to the left of the high guest house. And there's our lady here. Hello, Rodwin.
Is it true you can read the truth in someone's face, despite their words?
I know you, Fistula. I have heard of your many heroic deeds, and word of your adventures has spread throughout the land. Is it true you can read the truth in someone's face despite their words? It is true, isn't it? Rodwin's face is pale, and you need no special ability to determine how nervous she is in your presence. Then I will just tell you, for you are sure to find it out anyway. I was an adventurer for hire, a champion of Gondar. My friends and I sought to earn coin by lending our swords and our skills to folk in need, but we weren't very good at it. Our guardian, Draffy, was more brave than sensible. Our minstrel, Kulin, never did learn the value of silence when enemies were about, and I have waylaid my sword at inopportune moments more than once. I confess it. When the war ended, we decided it was best for all if we were to leave the adventuring life behind us. Colin took up farming, the dear fellow, but it was a short-lived experiment, and he has left that behind too. It did not suit him either. So we all came to settle within the White City, and through a series of misunderstandings and some ill-advised boasting, my friends and I caught the attention of the Council of Gondar. The next thing I know, our lore master, Isteron, is speaking before those noble lords and ladies, insisting that we are expert wedding planners all. What do I know about weddings? Little enough. So we have stumbled our way into something of a real adventure, Fistula, and if we cannot perfect this wedding ceremony, we will be in real trouble. Will you help us?
What a relief it is to hear you will help us.
What a relief it is to hear you will help us. Every wedding should be perfect, of course, but the weight of responsibility for this particular wedding is even greater, for all the eyes of the kingdom will be upon it. It means a great deal to me that you will not betray our secret. With your help, it should not matter that my friends and I know so little about such preparations. Already I have sent them throughout the city to get whatever help they can. Here, Fistula, I have penned some letters of introduction authorizing you to work on my behalf in all wedding-related matters. Bring these to our lore master, Isteron, and he will tell you how best you can help us. You should find him outside the Tower of Exilion, in the Plaza of the Fountain. So I guess they kind of got themselves into a bit of a pickle. Now, she said he would be... There he is.
You are here to help plan for the great wedding? Good, good, good.
Ah, you're here to help plan for the great wedding? There is so much to be done, but do not let that frighten you away. I have often found that the largest tasks are the most rewarding, just so long as you do not give up before you've begun. You ask Astarion if he needs any help researching wedding customs, and he blinks at you, the smile frozen on his face. Oh no, I gave up on that, he replies. Kufarin and I did learn some interesting tidbits from a number of hobbits over there, but I did not find their advice very promising. Your hobbit traditions feel rather, how do I say this? Rather quaint, and not very appropriate for such a grand wedding as this must be. I mean no offense. The hobbits are to the south of the Tower of Ecthelion, I believe, if you wish to hear what they told me. Quaint, huh? You mean simple and joyous? Oh look, it's Frodo and Samwise, looking quite fine in their pre-wedding attire.
How nice to see you during a time of celebration and not during a time of war.
Fistula, how nice to see you during a time of celebration and not during a time of war. You tell Frodo that you're helping Arwen and her companions with the preparations for the great wedding, and he nods thoughtfully. That is very good of you. Aragorn is dear to me, and I want his wedding to be all for which he and his bride might hope. Are Arwen and her companions up for such a challenge? I have spoken with a number of them now, and in each of these planners, I admit to you, I have recognized something. He smiles knowingly. They are in over their heads, just as I was during the Quest of the Ring. Just as we all were. Well, that turned out all right in the end. So too might the wedding ceremony. If there's anything we can do, let us know, and we will help. Hello, Samwise.
There has been a lot of wedding chatter in the air, you know.
There has been a lot of wedding chatter in the air, Fistula, and I'll have you know it's not the easiest thing for this Gamgee to talk about. Take that Astarion fella. He spoke on and on about how grand this wedding should be, and how it'll be talked about for years and years, and maybe that's so. But I can't help but wonder if that's not the most important thing. Maybe I'm just a hobbit with hobbit ideas. But it seems to me that the wedding should be just as Arwen and Strider want it to be. Does it matter that the kingdom thinks of it, or for how long it's talked about? Sam falls silent and sniffs the air. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Mr. Frodo and I weren't the only hobbits who spoke to the wedding planners. Merry and Pippin talked to them too, and when they finished they went off laughing, looking very pleased with themselves about something. It might be worth looking into, Fistula. Those two are always causing trouble of some kind or another, and if you follow the smell of their pipeweed, could be you'll get to the bottom of it. All right. Let's go find our happy little troublemakers. The fragrant smell of pipeweed lingers on the air. Merry and Pippin came this way. And well, the fact that Merry and Pippin are troublemakers is no spoiler. We all know that. You have found a pair of amused hobbits laughing and smoking.
Good day to you. Why don't you stay a while?
Good day to you, Fistula. Why don't you stay a while and have a smoke? There's room for all. What's on your mind, friend? You ask Merry and Pippin about the preparations for the upcoming wedding, and they share a conspiratorial look before doubling over with laughter. When Merry has once again caught his breath, he apologizes and tries to answer your question. It's going to be a real sight to see, Fistula. It seemed to us that these wedding planners might not have actually been in a real wedding before. And you know, Pip and I have been in plenty. We're real experts on the subject, you might say, so we gave Kufarin a detailed account of the most important Shire wedding traditions. It was the right thing to do, wasn't it, Pep? How did they go again?
Well, Mary, everyone knows that a Shire wedding, you've got to follow the traditions.
Well, Mary, everyone knows that in a Shire wedding, you've got to follow the traditions. There are 4 elements that must be present if the ceremony be a success. The bride needs to carry or wear something old, right? And then she should pair it with something new, which represents the new life she's starting with her husband. Mary nods solemnly, which causes Pippin to break out into laughter again before resuming. And then she needs something borrowed as well. Maybe a garment, or a cloth, or a small pocket item of some kind. And then, most important of all, everything has to be blue. The 2 hobbits start laughing again, and through their gales of laughter, you can just make out gasps of everything blue. All the decorations, everything, they've got to be blue. Oh dear. Really? Okay. That's not quite how it works. You need to find Kufara before it's too late. Oh my goodness gracious. We're just going to jump down right here. Like I said, that's our little troublemakers. Oh, let's get on our horse. Okay. Oh. Oh dear. The decorations are indeed a mirror, as Merry and Pippin suggested, overwhelmingly blue.
Not everyone is as familiar with our hobbits as we are.
Legolas speaks solemnly, but the son of Thranduil cannot completely mask his amusement. And not everyone is familiar with hobbits as we are, Fistula. Am I right to suggest that this must be the doing of a certain Brandybuck and Took of our acquaintance? Yeah, you might be. You just might be.
Those hobbits weren't really wedding experts at all, were they?
Those hobbits weren't really wedding experts at all, were they? He asked, staring wearily at the pile of blue decorations gathered from all around the city. Not really experts at all. There's a lot of that going around these days.
Was any of the advice those hobbits gave to me truthful?
I need to come up with a good use for these decorations. There has to be something, but now I have a more urgent worry. Was any of the advice those hobbits gave to me truthful? They spoke of someone called Gandalf, a wizard they claimed to be in the very city, and said his fireworks cannot be missed. Is it true? You assure Kafarin that Gandalf is indeed a master of the art, and his fireworks have a truly remarkable reputation for excellence. You say he has likely heard of the wizard before, for in these lands he goes by another name. Mithrandir. Ah, yes, I know of this wizard, although I did not know he dabbled in the construction of fireworks. Perhaps you can find him for me and ask if he will contribute some of his finest creations to set off during the wedding ceremony. I saw him recently in this circle of the city. Look for him to the west. Alright, let's go find Gandalf, who's got to be around here somewhere. And there he is. Gandalf the White. Looking very blazingly white. My fireworks? Ah, lass, I am sorry, Fistula, but you may remember that it was a time of war, until very recently, when Shadowfax bore me hither with young Peregrine Took, I did not have the luxury to bring any fireworks along with me. You apologize for disturbing him, and the wizard raises his eyebrows at you with apparent amusement. Are you always in such a rush that you cannot wait for an old man to finish speaking? I said I did not bring any fireworks with me on the ride from Rohan. I did not say I no longer possessed any. Indeed, I have collected 1 or 2 such devices during the time since the war ended, and I have stored them in a small crate in my quarters. Now, there are not as many as I would like. It was my custom when lighting such crackers in the Shire to really fill the night sky with illumination. That was both for the delight of the hobbits, and for my own, if I'm speaking honestly. But perhaps the few crackers I have assembled will still bring some small measure of enjoyment to the attendees of the wedding, Fistula. Go to my quarters in the High Guest House, in the 7th Circle, and empty the crate of its contents, and I will see what can be done. Alright. So, he might have a sparkler or 2 hanging about, and he wants me to go gather them. And, sorry random people, I didn't mean to run through all of you. And here is, of course, the High Guest House. So, let's take a look in here. Isn't it quite lovely? Look at that big, huge fountain. Boy, if we had structures like this in the world, you would think things would be, I don't know, maybe a little more congenial. Oh, who am I kidding? War. It never changes. If you look on the tables, you might see some things that look very similar to the platters that we can get as housing decorations. I think that might be the Ranger's Secret Stew, or maybe that one is. We have pull-apart pastries. We have, ooh, that's a platter of, looks like fish. There's a bread platter. Of course, even the plates that people eat off of, a couple of those are decorations. That's a cheese board, because I see the sausage and the cheese and the different dippings. So yeah, like I said, very nice decorations for the house, and I kind of wish things like tables included their own separate hooks to put things like that on. Okay. Gandalf's crate of fireworks is in his quarters. Well, this isn't his quarters. These are actually quite fine quarters, even if they don't have doors on them. But they do have curtains across them. So that's something, some modicum of privacy. Here is his crate. You retrieve dwarf candles, known for their angular shapes and geometric precision. You retrieve elf fountains, which fall from the sky like gently shimmering rain. You retrieve goblin barkers, which explode with harsh goblin-like cries. You retrieve thunderclaps, which have previously been mistaken for actual thunderstorms. You retrieve a few assorted squibs from the crate. Not that impressive, but still important. You retrieve a few handheld sparklers from where they rolled into the crate's corners. You're a little disappointed to find the crate is now empty. Alright, so let's take these back to Mithrandir. Alright, here you go, your fireworks.
I am sorry there were so few fireworks to gather up.
Ah, there we are. I am sorry there were so few fireworks to gather up, my friend. You expressed your surprise that the wizard could count such an armful of fireworks as merely a few. When Mithrandir responds, it is with a twinkle in his eye and laughter in his voice. You must have never seen one of my firework displays before, Fistula. These few will have to do.
But on to other matters.
Some time ago, I observed our friend Gimli walking with one of Rodwin's companions, a dwarf I know to be called Drawfly Broadshield. I greeted them both, and Gimli responded heartily that he and his new friend were going to the Splintered Shield, and they might be some time away. Oh, I asked them, and Gimli responded that they planned to determine the words Elessar and his bride should use to bind their love during the ceremony. We will not emerge until we have settled upon just the right words for that vow, he proclaimed, and I suspect he meant it. Perhaps you should go to the tavern and check on our dwarves, Fistula. It will not do for Gimli to miss the wedding, and if he keeps his eye on the L and not on the sun, he very well might. The Splintered Shield is in the second circle. Alright, so we are going to head down to the first circle and work our way up. Because I'll be honest, I'm not quite remembering the order of things, and I think in the first run through the order is a little messed up anyway.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Once we've gone through the majority of the stuff and we remember the route is actually pretty easy and doesn't take that long. Alright, we're going to start by going in here. The city stables, because there's a quest or two in here.
Yes?
Pardon me, do you have time to spare? Many have come to witness the celebrations and left their steeds in our care. These weary horses have seen much travel and need people to look after them. With how hectic things have been, we do not have enough stable hands. There are a few horses around the stable that need grooming and others that deserve treats for good behavior. We would appreciate the help, if you do not mind, of course. There are crates at the back of the stable with equipment and apples. And of course, this is one of the many repeatable quests that we can do here. So we go back here, up the stairs, you see where the glowy crates are. And here's the equipment crate, and we found a grooming brush, and the crate of apples, which if we know anything about apples, Bingo Boffin hates them. So now, we have a well-behaved horse, and he is going to get an apple. We go here and turn this way, and we have another well-behaved horse. And yet another well-behaved horse. Now, we've done that, but we are missing, our disheveled horses. So we need to brush them. That's one. And I missed one somewhere. And it doesn't look like I'm brushing him as much as it looks like I'm patting him, but I guess the brushing movement would probably be a little difficult, especially for a hobbit. And of course, we really don't see any change in the horse's coat, which is too bad. We should see it smooth out or something. But we're done. Thank you, Fistula. The horses looked much happier already. I can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that they are content. If you are able, please come back tomorrow. We may need more help then. And at least he is honest and says that that they'll probably need more help with this. And it does, of course, encourage somebody to return knowing that that's a daily. Now, while we're down here, where is this child? Ah, she's in here. Okay. Chase after a child. Good thing I'm hobbit-sized. This makes it a little easier. Okay, maybe not. Oh, hello. Have you come to play with us? You tell her of her mother's concerns. The young girl gasps with almost theatrical drama. Oh, no. I totally forgot about the flowers. Will you help me gather them? It will go twice as quickly with you by my side. That is, if you have the time. Alright, so the child has been playing games with her friends instead of picking the flowers her mom sent her to pick. And now she's sending me to pick them in her stead. Well, I guess it's not the worst thing I've ever had to do, right? So let's go pick some flowers. I love this version of Minas Tirith because it's just so full of life. You come in here and there are just people everywhere. Most of them you can't interact with, of course, which is too bad. But at least there's like, it feels like a proper city or town. And while Bree and other areas have actually increased the number of NPCs that are wandering around, they still feel a little empty, and it would be nice to see them more full like Minas Tirith after the war. So we need 2 more flowers, which we'll find right here. Okay. So we have the flowers. Might as well get on a horse to go back. I guess in a case like this, it's a really good thing there aren't any collision mechanics with the NPCs, because I would have probably just mowed down about a half a dozen. I was right. You found twice as much as me. You can use the blankets to put down your flowers. I know you have already done so much for me. However, if we weave these into crowns for Mother, it will make her smile so much. And maybe she will not be upset that I got distracted. Oh, and when you're done, could you tell her I'm going to eat with Father for dinner? Thank you. Alright, so she is going to eat with her father. And that quest is done. So all we have to do is turn that one in when we get back up. And in the meantime, we now need to head up to the second tier. Yep, I just like mowed over like a dozen spectators. Alright, so right off the bat we run into this fine fella.
Welcome, welcome.
The festivities have been rather exciting, haven't they? It's been months since I've been able to produce a single painting, but the visit to Minas Tirith has finally given me inspiration. Unfortunately, I can't put a brush to canvas until I obtain paint ingredients. The city is like a maze. I've already lost my way 6 times. If I go wandering off again, I may not find my way back. Perhaps you will have better luck. I asked for directions, well, 6 times before. Seek out the chef Cyril for charcoal, a potter from the House of Craft for clay, and the gardener Lebadar for the flowers. The first 2 are on the 3rd circle, and Lebadar is on the 2nd. Alright. I'm going to apologize because this episode might be a little bit on the long side now that I think of it. Okay, so we are going this way. We have a couple of stops to make here. And we'll be passing the Splinter Shield for the moment. And head it straight to the back. Wow, isn't that amazing? I think out of all the places here, I would like to visit Minas Tirith. And I'd like to visit Moria, but only after they've gotten rid of the orcs. Because I'm not dumb. And this is the Mumakin Keep. And we are coming in here to gather a barrel of ale. I think that's all we need to do here. Okay. Quite the establishment, isn't it? Is there even an upstairs? There is. Quite an impressive establishment indeed. Very big for a tavern. But then this is Gondar. This is I guess the capital city of Gondar. Everything probably would be big. Okay. Back on our horse, and we're off to the Splintered Shield, where we have various things to do. Alright. And they say this is a little bit of a rowdy place. Which might very well be true. We're going to start off with a couple of side quests. And then we'll talk to Mr. Gimli.
Can I speak with you a moment?
You there. You look like you didn't spend last night with as much ale as some of us. Do me a favor, and I'll make it worth your while. My name is Ulthir, greatest florist in all the land. I'm sure you've heard of me. No? Well, no accounting for taste, is there? By the by, wedding season is the most important time of year for a flower monger like myself. I labor for months growing, harvesting, and transporting my renowned blossoms and arrangements from my farm to various cities. This week, I have the misfortune of being stuck in this smoldering pile of rocks. Oh, my head. Where was I? Oh, yes. I seem to have imbibed a bit more than I am accustomed to last evening. Ah, don't look at me like that. Do you have any inkling how difficult it is to keep roses fresh from my farm to here? The stress nearly eats you alive. I've probably gone down an entire tonic size. So I might have had more than I should have to drink. What do you care? You're not my wife. Wait, you're not my wife, are you? The merchant squints up at you with bleary eyes. No, you aren't. Right, listen. You help me out, and I'll make it worth your while. You hear that ruckus? Someone in this tavern fancies himself a bard. But a croaking frog has more melody than that cacophony. Here, take these coins and toss them to whoever that dreadful squalling is coming from. I need at least 10 more hours of sleep, and they aren't helping the slightest. You know, I've never fully read through that before. He's rather amusing and a bit of an ass. How dare you? I'll leave, but you're missing out. So we're tossing coins to the minstrels. And all I can think is toss a coin to your witcher. Oh, very well. I'll go where my obvious talents are appreciated. Do you have any idea who I am? People come from miles around to hear me, and you're shooing me away. Oh, very well. I'll go where my obvious talents are appreciated. We have to go up the stairs and around. Too loud, you say? I guess I need more practice still. Too loud, you say? I guess I need more practice still. Alright, so we have two things down here. We have a barrel of ale, which we're going to grab. And then we have some wine tasting to do. So we have to go through these different wines and find the right one. And this one is probably, out of all the quests, a little bit on the annoying side because it does take a while to do the wine tastings. Oh, this light-bodied tart red taste of strawberries, violets, and black pepper. We have found the right one on the first shot. That's too bad. We'll have to do that again because there are some hilarious wrong answers. So, we got the right wine on the first shot. And actually sounds quite nice. Was it strawberries, violets, and pepper?
How can I be of service?
Ah, my friend, do you hear that? Blessed silence. I'm stuck here all week. Why don't you come back tomorrow just in case more ill happens? And of course, when we do the repeatables, we will not feel the need to reread that every single time. Especially his was quite long. Now, let's go talk to Gimli, who is over here sleeping it off. Gimli blinks at you as you awaken him from his stupor. Ah, Fistula, you have found us hard at work. Haha! It is true. All the folk here in the tavern have been helping us find the finest vows to be spoken by Aragorn at his wedding. Elessar, you know who I mean. The ale here is quite good. It was Dropsley's idea to reward every perfect sentence with a mug. Ah, you had better wake him up, Fistula. We have so many good words from which to choose. Dropsley awakens with a start, blinking the sleep and drink from his eyes. I have had an idea, Gimli. We should have the proprietor provide this ale for the wedding feast. As many barrels as he could spare. And that should be no small number. A wedding such as this only comes along but rarely. Ask him this, Fistula. Ask him, and it will be the very first finest of celebrations. Why, if I have anything to say about it, it will be nearly as rowdy as a dwarf wedding. The King of Gondar should be so fortunate. I don't think the King of Gondar wants a dwarf wedding. Just saying.
I would be pleased to contribute a number of barrels for the wedding feast.
I would be pleased to contribute a number of barrels for the wedding feast. It is the least I could do for the king and his bride, and I do it gladly. Gondar is in need of such happiness as theirs after so much war. The dwarves are right on this account. The drink will loosen the tongue of all those at the feast, and the guests will frequently and at full voice toast the king's health and that of his elf bride. That is my promise to you, Fistula. Alright, back to Gimli. Well, that is settled. Now let us see the other matter, the proper vows to be made during the wedding ceremony. Will you gather up these papers, Fistula? Dropsley and I wrote down some good options, and all our friends here in the Splinter Shield contributed suggestions of their own, and now it's up to us to select the very best ones. Alright, so, we need to gather up some messy papers. I don't know why they couldn't do this themselves. They're sitting right in front of them. But, you know, the dwarves are drunk, so they probably can't even see which of the three piles of paper is actually the real one. Alright, let's see what we've got. Gimli reads aloud from one of the papers. Your beauty is without outcompare, even among all the gems of the earth. That was one of mine, Fistula. Do you like it? Together we will lay waste to our foes, and none will stand against us. Now that I see it written down, I don't know about this one, Dropsley. What else? I pledge to love and serve you in all things. Pretty good, not bad. My love for you gives me the strength to... To what? This one isn't finished. Gimli shuffles through the stack of papers looking for more worthy vows. Let's see. True men of Gondar will not forget Castamir. What is this? Who wrote this? I don't know very much about the name Castamir, but I know it has something to do with a dark period in the history of Gondor. Corsair leaders called themselves the heirs of Castamir. Caused us some problems on the journey from Rohan here to Minas Tirith, and I know it is a name that causes Aragorn some displeasure. That is enough for me. I do not need to know the particulars. For someone to invoke this name now, today, I do not like it, Fistula. Some villain here in the Splintered Shield snuck this paper among the others, hoping to disrupt the wedding. Find out who has done this, and we will make them pay for it. These men insist they saw nothing. These women insist they saw nothing.
What is the trouble, friend?
What is the trouble, friend? I assure you that several of my finest barrels will be brought to the hall for the wedding feast. I'm a man of my word, and I will see it done. All I ask is that the lords and ladies attending the feast know that it was Degillion of the Splintered Shield who provided the drink. You tell Degillion that someone slipped a reference to Castamir the usurper among the papers on Gimli's table while the dwarf and his companion were dozing. Men speak of Castamir in my tavern? This is an outrage. I'll have you know that we of the Splintered Shield are king's men all, and have nothing but respect for his bride-to-be, elf though she be. I say that with all the love in my heart, Fistula. If you find any who say otherwise, or even as much as think it, I will have them cast out on the street, never welcome again within these walls. I swear it, Fistula. Show me the man who speaks fondly of Castamir for the usurping Kingslayer, and I will report him to the guards of the citadel. Nobody saw anything. Huh, I'll wager my axe could make them talk, but this is not my kingdom, and I should not wish to overstep my bounds. Not right before a wedding, anyway. Castamir, bah! I remember the Corsair that invoked his name at Pelargir, Fistula, and none of them would be welcome at a wedding such as this. No, not even if they cleaned themselves up and wore their finest garb. They were cruel-hearted and evil-minded, and from my gathering, it sounds like their idol Castamir was twice as bad. You should go tell Gandalf that there are some, at least, who might wish to disrupt Aragorn's wedding. Maybe our wizard could work some magic to sniff out those troublemakers and make them think better of it. I should say it is worth a try. If that does not do it, offer my axe in service of the task. That may prove even more effective than magic. Okay. So, I'd say Gimli is not too happy with this slight turn of events. And I don't even think that we're going to get through much more than the second. Oh, we have to. See, that's the problem with this. Once we get everything set up, this does not take that long. But to get things set up, it does take a little while. So, I guess, without further ado, we're having an extra long episode today. Don't run into the wall. You silly little hobbit. Alright, so obviously the second tier is quite big. I have not seen the stable yet. I think the stable is on this end. Is it? Let me check the map. Where am I at? This is the second tier. Oh, I must have got... No, I have not run across it yet. No, it's right here. Hopefully I got it. If not, I'll have to get it next time.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Not again. Stop. Thief. Oh, please, please help me. That blasted cur. It loves to torment me. The wretched thing has run off with my engagement ring. Please, you must see if you can get it back. I'm absolutely terrified of the creature, and they know it. So we have to chase some hounds. And try to find the one that stole her ring. It has no ring. I found the ring. Sometimes it takes multiple tries, but I found that one on the first try. So, hooray.
How can I be of service?
You found my ring. Oh, thank you, thank you. It sounds silly, but I feel like that dog thinks this is all very funny. Artist and direction. Flowers? Oh, this is for that young painter, isn't it? I met him some days ago while he was exploring the city, but he hasn't returned since. Here you go. Please tell him I said hello.
Oh?
Have you seen anything like this before? I dare say that this is the first time in all my long years that my people have experienced such joy. Still, there is work to be done. Several gardens in Minas Tirith are under my responsibility, but I have been having a harder time tending to them. So many people around the city. My old legs can no longer carry me as well as they used to. But I do not wish to let my plants waste away. They have survived troubled times. If you could help me, the gardens that hold the statue of Stuart Egelmoth on the third circle require attention. The weeds have sprung out of the earth and the bushes need watering.
How may I help you, friend?
Okay. Now, the crafting area. Why, you say? Well, sure, I can get you some. We got plenty. Come in here. There's actually a couple, there's a quest in here that we can pick up. There's also some wedding supplies. So you see these little crates here. They're wedding supplies. And we have to find 5 such crates. And 2 of them are right here. And we want to take this quest here.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Hello, hello. I heard that you shall be assisting us. You haven't any idea how grateful I am. If you could spare the time, I am quite overwhelmed with letters that need to be delivered about the city. Excellent. I have a pleasant task here, a stock of thank you letters for the healers of the House of Healing. Alright. Back out. And while I'm thinking about it, there should be another, wedding supply crate right here. So we've already got 3 of our 5 wedding crates. And we have to go this way. For the garden. Like I said, there are more than enough quests to do your 10 daily here. You can even skip one or two. So, you know, the more annoying quest, if you choose. And, of course, for everybody, that would be, I don't know, different. I find the hound quest can be annoying, especially on days when it takes forever to find the ring. So we are dealing with some plants here. We have to water some and pull some weeds. Well, that's normal. Speaking of weeds, I have to do some of that myself. And I actually have to replant a couple of things. I seem to be having no luck growing carrots. No matter how hard I've tried, I've had no luck with that. And it doesn't seem like the spinach or the lettuce is taken either. Yes, I actually have my own garden. At least I'm working on having a garden. Some things I have very little trouble with. In fact, I have some potatoes that are growing quite nicely. Some turnips that are doing okay. Some red onions. A few radishes. They're not doing as good as I would have liked. Celery, which I actually grow a variety that grows some very slender stalks. And surprisingly enough, I have some yellow squash plants that are just going to town. They are so happy. I was shocked to see how well they are doing. So hopefully I will get a bunch of nice squash out of that. And I have some very young tomato plants and pepper plants that are slowly growing. A little slower than I would like. Okay. Thank you for aiding a silly old man and his plants today, kind stranger. I think my people will appreciate the reminder that as long as nature continues to grow, good still exists in the world. Well, that is actually a very nice sentiment. I like that. I even have a couple of strawberry plants, although I'm trying to propagate some more. 3 strawberry plants is not nearly enough to provide strawberries. So, I'm going. Yeah, we're going the right way. And I think there's some more stuff here to do. Well, definitely still have to collect 2 more wedding crates. But I do think there's another quest or 2 this way as well. Oh. Charcoal from my burnt wood? Whatever for? Oh, no matter. Here, take it. I don't need it anyway.
Oh?
Ah, you there. It appears you have some spare time on your hands. You've seen the guards that are hard at work around the city, yes? Despite the festival, they keep watch day and night. The war remains fresh on everyone's mind, I'm afraid. The guards are busy people with little time, but I want to help them find some enjoyment nevertheless. And food is the key to anyone's heart. I've just made a batch of small pastries and let them cool on that table over there. I'll need you to deliver them to any hungry-looking guards nearby. Quickly now, I don't want my pastries to get cold. Or pastries. Alright, so let's go look for a couple of guards. Well, there's one right here. It saddens me that I cannot join in the celebration right now, but I appreciate the kind gesture. Okay, there he is. Thank you, I needed that. It's been a long day, but Sorelli's pastries always taste good. I don't know where I got the word pastry from. I could have sworn I've heard somebody say it that way. It is pastry. But I don't eat enough much of that either way, so. House of Rest. I think we might need to go in there. Oh, another guard. Many thanks. Could you pass the message on to the chef as well? Ah, some wedding supplies. Okay. Quite a number of things to do on this level. And our last wedding supplies. Alright. Come down here. Around here somewhere should be our other. My favorites. If I had to do all this work just to get a pastry from cereal, then it was worth it. It's cereal, not Sorelli. I don't know. Now, we need to come over here. To the Merry Swan. And while we're here, there's two things we need to do. And put some flowers up here. And isn't that a lovely floral arrangement? Boy, you know that would cost a small fortune if you got it from the florist. And we have a barrel of ale. So now we have 3 of our 4 ale barrels. And I don't think there's anything else up this way. I'll double check. Yeah, no, this would go towards the cisterns, I think. Okay, so back this way. And a lot of non-working doors here. A lot of non-working doors. It's too bad. I really wish there were more interiors in this game. You know? There's so much wasted potential. Ah, and here she is. You're back, and with an empty platter at that. Yeah, my gratitude. I didn't say that to just anyone. You've made quite a few people smile today. Come back tomorrow, there will always be mouths to fill. Okay, and I do believe we're done up here. At least I'm pretty sure we're done here. Maybe not. Well, actually, that's down on the soldiers' tier, isn't it? Is it? Oh, we've already done that one, though. Okay. So, continuing on, we go up. And up is which way? Kind of wish I could zoom in. Okay. This way. Oh, right. If it had been a snake, it would have bit me. It's right in front of my face. Alright. Which way are we going to go first? This way first, because the other way is going to have the next ramp up. Alright, so we are looking for... Actually, we're looking for some people.
Greetings.
Go away, shoo. I haven't any food for you. What? Oh, you wish for me to try your food? I am not in the habit of accepting food from random strangers, but... Come, give it here. Not bad. Needs a tad more salt. I see what he meant by I might have better luck than him, because he automatically assumed that it was a beggar until he saw me, and then he's like, oh, wait, you're no beggar. Well, maybe I should listen to you.
What can I do for you?
What's this, a free sample? Delicious. I would not change a thing except to perhaps... Well, might I have another? Okay, she seemed to really like the pastries. Enough to ask for her seconds.
Greetings, friend.
Does it have nuts? I detest nuts. No nuts? Very well then, give it here. It needs something. Nuts, perhaps? Okay, so she says she hates nuts, but then she says it needs nuts. Which makes no sense.
How can I be of service?
What is it? I do not eat random things. Wait a moment. It does smell divine. Tastes as good as it smells. I think we missed one person. But that's okay. Because we have come to the Blue Theater and we have to come in here anyway.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
Once again, I must apologize for the delay. What delay, you ask? Are you not here for the Cloudy Heads? It is a dreadful name, but I think they are fine enough musicians. They're scheduled to play soon, but I have no idea where they've gone. They haven't left the theater, but that is all I know. Would you find them for me and direct them backstage? Okay, so this is another one of those slightly annoying quests, especially when there's a bunch of people doing it. And we can do some floor arrangements here. And that will do us for the floor arrangements. Alright, and that one auto-completes. So, now we need to look for the musicians. And they will be scattered about the place, and they move around too. Like I said, it's a little annoying. Thank you, this theater is quite larger than I remember it. So each of them has a couple of different spots where they'll hang out. Okay, nope, not there. Oh, there's another one. Backstage, why that could be anywhere in here. Goodness me, I must have lost track of time. Oh, there she is. And this is the only one who is sensible. I am backstage, yes. Huh. What dwarf would get lost in such a place? Okay, so we are missing one dwarf. I have forgotten how the NPC buttons work. Okay, hold on. Okay, options. Key mapping. Go all the way down here, past the backpack, selection, select self, select nearest foe, select fellowship, select nearest NPC, select next NPC. Shift, okay, F10, Shift F10, Control F10. So we're looking for another dwarf. I found 2 hobbits. I found the man. I found the elf. And I found the other dwarf. I've already found Gord. Oh, ouch. Not here. Yeah, that's the door, the elf. See, that's another spot she hangs out at. I think I already found Froki. Yeah, I did. There's the Hobbit. Okay, none of those are the one I want. Nope. So yeah, this one is, I'd say this one is the top of my list for annoying. Especially when there's a lot of people doing these quests. Oh! There he is. There's our dwarf. I'm wanted backstage. Very well. Okay. Yeah, the only way you're going to do this quest and keep any modicum of sanity is to use the NPC button so that you can find them. And remember, there are 2 dwarves, a male and a female hobbit, a human, and an elf. Alright, so we actually managed to get a couple things done in there. So back on our horse we go. Oh wow, this is going to be super long. Good thing it's a weekend, right? But I want to at least get this much done because, well, I don't want to lose out on any of the dailies. I'll be honest, I don't want to lose out on any of the dailies because I'm going to need a lot of tokens to get the things I want to get. Anything else up here? Oh, we missed one of our people for tasty morsels. That's right. And he's right here. What now? A sample? I ate but a few hours ago. Well, hobbits aren't the only ones who can double up on meals, eh? It's perfectly serviceable food, but nothing I should want to serve at my table. Now, if it had bacon crumbles on top, yes, that would really help the flavor. Okay. Alright, so now we got that done. Little twisty-turny right there. Now, if you hadn't done the flowers already, you could go to the end of this. There's an open air theater up that way. And you could place flowers up there. Oh, I think it's on the next level. That's something else. So, yeah, on the next level you could do it. On this level, we're just looking for the ramp. Which I probably have gone way past, haven't I? Yep, I did. I see it. Obviously, I do not spend enough time here at Minas Tirith, because I have to reorient myself every time. Lots of little nooks and crannies in here, too. This would be an excellent little spot for roleplay. Especially if you happen to do some Gondorian roleplay. The after war Minas Tirith is a great place to go, because while you're not going to go very far outdoors, you have the whole city to wander. Alright, now what do I have up here? Couple things up here, I think. So we don't have to go this way. This is where the theater would be, I believe. We have to go this way. House of Lore. We're going to go past the House of Lore and hit Thirsty Seer, which we want for the final barrel. So we go all the way back here to this little spot and grab the barrel, and now we have that. Very nice place. Such lovely spots when there's interiors. House of Lore. We want to go in here, because in here we have flowers to place. And up the stairs we go. Maybe we should try not running through stuff, right? Aren't those lovely statues? And we have a somewhat creepy area here. No offense to whoever did decorating, but really? Oh, we have this guy to talk to.
Can I speak with you a moment?
What? sleep overtook me again. Oh, hello. I wonder if you've seen, well, this is rather embarrassing. I've been collecting bits of poetry and romantic verse for, inspiration. Yes, that's it. I need a poem to read for a performance at which my beloved, well, my eventual beloved, Liberal will be present. Liberal. She loves poetry and attends the annual show here in Minas Tirith every year. I collected some of the best verses from the old masters of the craft and was in the process of organizing them into the best love poem that has ever existed. Or, I had been, that is. You see, I seem to have dozed off, and during which some dotard opened a nearby window. All my hours of work, my years of longing, my very careful copying of the very best love poems, all that is gathering inspiration, all of it, ruined by one nap. Say, have you a few moments to help me find those papers, friend? I could make it worth your while. How far could they have even gotten? I was asleep a mere, well, best to get started. Oh, my thanks, my thanks. I will look around the dark here if you will search the rest of the library. So, he's lifting lines from other poems to put together into a poem to read to someone. And like the anniversary festival, we have to chase these envelopes. Oh, that's right. That door doesn't open. Okay. Too far away. Come here. Thank you. And this would be one of those times I kind of wish I had a speed boost. Okay, 3. Ah. Well, that's creepy. Yeah, that's something I want decorating my house. Some dead guy on a throne. Oh, and there's the other one. Alright, so we actually managed to get those relatively quickly.
Greetings, friend.
Were you able to find the verses? Oh, thank you, thank you. I must go back to compiling, writing the words with which I will win Laveriel's love. Good luck. That's all I can say. Good luck. And we are done in here. At least that was one of the easier ones. And now, which way are we going? Over around this way. Okay. I might have gone the wrong way. Bergman's Fellowship Hall. And the thing about this area is it's pretty circular, as you can see. We have reached the stable. But yeah, I should have gone the other way. Well, we now know that the 6th tier is a big circle. So, my mistake is to your benefit. House of Healing, the High Hall. Here. Dispose of half-empty bottles in the High Hall. Remove noisy revelers. I should have actually read that, but we'll read it next time. I'll be honest, all this reading is making my throat a tiny bit sore. And now that I think about it, I've missed something else. Oh well. It has been a year since I've done this. So I'm not even the least little bit surprised that I missed a couple of things. And of course, they give you a sour look, but they leave. I don't know why you have so many revelers in a place where people are trying to recover. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? So we're done here. Should be another bottle in here. Yep. Half empty bottle of Baron's blood. I'm not sure I want to drink something called Baron's blood. Narubar. Here's some Peneth plum wine. Well, out of everything, I guess that would be the one I'd probably want to drink. Not much of a wine person. I'm definitely not a beer person. Now, I did find a recipe, an old English recipe for mead that sounded very easy. At least I can hear myself think again. If I have no need of your aid on the morrow, it will be a joyous midsummer indeed. So, hold on, Mithron dear. We'll be right with you. There's another spot we need to go to. And this one is for the quest we picked up at the crafting hall to deliver letters. It actually is a very joyous, happy little quest. Oh, excuse me, I have a letter for you.
What can I
A
do
letter
for you?
for me? A request for potions, no doubt. Why, this is no request at all, but a note of gratitude. Somehow my tasks seem to be a bit lighter now.
Lied Malon.
Excuse me, I'm quite busy. A letter for me? Thank you. I shall read it when I find a moment. And then, of course, there are sick rooms in here. And we have to chase down some of these. A letter from me? Why, how nice. I often do not hear from those I tend to. This just warms my heart.
What can I do for you?
What have you there? A letter of thanks from someone I tend it. Oh, how lovely. Actually like her hairstyle. Can we have that for our characters? I would so use that. Absolutely. I like the two braids at the front, and then she has hair hanging loose at the back. Absolutely love that. Healer.
What do you need?
Yes, what ails you, friend? Why, this is... We do not do what we do to gather thanks, but thoughtful things such as this really do invigorate one. You may not do it to gather thanks, but it doesn't mean that the people shouldn't be... Feel free to thank you. Are you a patient? Oh, for me? Ah, says here she's feeling much better. I knew that tonic would do the trick. Alright, so now we have that to turn in downstairs. We have one or two to turn in downstairs, which we'll do off screen, because we are almost done. And I know you're thinking, oh, thank God, this has been the longest video ever. And you'd be right. It has been an incredibly long video. But now that we've set things up, it will be much easier in the future. And, Mithrandir, I come bearing ill tidings.
What has brought you back to me so quickly?
What has brought you back to me so quickly, my friend? Has Gimli exhausted his store of love words, or has he decided to save them for another wedding? It would not surprise me to learn that our dwarf has a poet's heart, as do many of his people. You tell Gandalf about the mention of Castamere, that someone slipped among Gimli's papers in the splintered hall, and the wizard nods without surprise. Yes, I expected something like this, Fistula. The folks of Gondar have long memories. Castamere's reign was the violent culmination of the kin strife, a chain of events that began with a wedding of which the populace did not approve. Urumadassil, 20th king of Gondar, sent his son Valakar to make peace with the Vidagavia, the self-proclaimed king of Rovanion. Valakar did so, but he did more as well. He fell in love with Vidamavi, Northman daughter of the king, and the two were married. Many folk in Gondar were displeased with the match, believing that Valakar's marriage would lessen the royal Númenórean blood in any heir produced by the union. Unrest simmered throughout the kingdom. A child was born by Valakar and Vidamavi, and he was named Edikar. The unrest continued to simmer until at last he came to the throne. Unrest turned to violent conflict, and Castamere, the captain of ships, brought war to unseat Eldikar. The usurper ruled Gondor for 10 years until Eldikar returned at the head of a Northman army. Castamere was slain, but his sons and allies fled to Peligir and Umbar, and the underlying discontent that caused the kin strife never truly disappeared. Will the people of Gondar accept marriage of their king to Arwen Undomiel, the daughter of Elrond of Rivendell? The news you bring from Splintered Shield tells me that some, at least, may not. We should bring word of the possibility to Elessar, though it pains me to trouble him with it. And perhaps you can do this, Fistula. So we get actually a brief history of Gondar in that. A period of time in which things were not so well. And why those of Umbor hate Gondorians so much. But now, let's go and turn in our daily 10 quests. And next time, we'll continue the wedding quest. And maybe, perhaps not do all of the others at once.
Greetings.
Excellent.
Greetings.
Excellent. Which is pretty much all she says.
What can I do for
Oh,
you?
excellent. This is going to be perfect, and my customers will be so happy. Good work.
How can I be of
Oh, you have
service?
returned flour free. Lovely. I shall send my assistant around to check your work. Come back again later. I may have some other tasks for you. So we go and turn in some quests.
What can I do for you?
Oh, you have returned. Tell me, what did they think? You share the nobles' opinions. This is all wonderful feedback. Give me some time to think this over, and I shall make the changes. Come back again tomorrow. We shall try again. Oh, you're back. She got you to make them for her, didn't she? You give her the message from her daughter. Huh. Dinner with her father. Well, that will save me some time tonight. Honestly, the child will do whatever she needs to in order to shirk her duties. At least she chose someone crafty for her chores. These look marvelous, friend. Thank you for your help. Alright, so. We've done a whole bunch of quests. All except for this lightning in a bottle. We have 2 more quests to turn in, and we have to also go downstairs for the daily, which is down on the 1st level, because of course it is. Uh-oh, lag. Well, at any rate, we're going to be doing the rest of that off-screen, and next time we will continue the wedding quest. And until then, bye for now.